To smooth any mesh, there are tools like Mesh Smooth or Turbo Smooth in different software. However, in ZBrush, things are a little different. We do direct subdivision or dynamic subdivision in ZBrush. So let's see how to do that in chapter 8.
Oh my god, it looks so ugly.
Maybe it's not on higher subdivision level. Or it's not on dynamic subdivision level.
So now we will start our new chapter, which is about the subdivision. One of the main interests you will have when you're making 3D models in ZBrush is how do you get more detail and resolution out of it. Now there are many ways to do this, but the classic method is by subdividing it. Let's see how subdivision works. So with this model I have open, you can see that there's fairly low resolution over here. You can see this like polygons over here and all these stuff. So let me do one thing. Let me press shift F, and I don't want to see the poly colors over here, poly group, so I will turn off my fill. Okay, so you can see that I have a fairly like a bit of a low res sort of a model over here. Now just to demonstrate, let's say I want to sculpt more fine details on this model. So what I will do here is that I will get my standard brush tool, for example, and I will just make it smaller. Let me hide the wireframe for a while. And if I want to create something over here, like suppose I want to create a area where he will put his cap or hat, so you can see that how resolution is bad and I cannot see actually anything what I'm doing over here. Okay, for example, if I will go to his t-shirt over here, okay, so this part, sorry, vest, and I want to create a logo on his vest, for example, and you can see how low res it is. So if I will draw something, and you can see it's not making anything, and I cannot see any detail over here because there is no room for the fine detail over here. The resolution is so low. The number of polygons that I have a very low number of the resolution. So how we can turn on or increase the subdivision level so we can have a high resolution model here, so we can create you know, more defined details. So you just have to go to geometry option here, and here you can see the subdivision level at the stage for this vest is around 2. If I will click on the divide button over here, so what it will do is that it will increase this. Okay, but let me do one thing here. If you will let me undo that, and if you will see there are 2 levels here. Okay, so level 2 and level 1 is even more less. So here I cannot see anything when I'm drawing. Okay, and level 2 at least I can see something, but not a fine detail. So this is what you have over here. Now basically here we can switch between these levels as you want, and the shortcut to move between these is if you press shift D on your keyboard, it will go to the lowest level. If you press D, it will go to the higher level. So that's the shortcut over here as well. Okay, so this is the shortcut basically. Now to increase the subdivision level, you just have to press this divide button. So if I will press the divide button here and keep on pressing, so you will notice that it is giving me a higher subdivision here. So let me turn on this wireframe here so you can see that how it looks like now with the number of 5 subdivision. If I will go back to 1, and you can see how this wireframe looks like now. So actually every time we add a subdivision level, it's going to increase the active polygon count and the total polygon count. Now here is the active polygon count. Active means on whatever subtool you are right now. Okay. Total means for the whole model. Okay. So right now you can see I have active here, which is around, you can see, let me reduce this one so you can see that it's changing here. Now we have 54,000 here. Okay, if I will go a little bit more down, so you can see I have now here around 13,000. Okay, so this is basically you have your points over here. So if I will go all the way down, you can see 84 points. Now if you can see, if I'm on level 3, you can say I have around 13,688, or for example you can say maybe something around 14,000, which is actually a kind of confusing. A lot of people think that this is 13,688 polys. Okay, in most 3D software they count the number of polygons, but ZBrush counts the number of points, which is like vertices. So there's usually about the double number of points in a model than there are in polygons. So if you need to export a model to a certain polygon count, what you want to do is that you want to think of this number as being in half. So actually 13,000, okay, or you can say 14,000. If it is 14,000, it's a total half of 14,000, which is 7,000. You can say that. Okay, but if we go down one division level, it goes more down. Like suppose if I will go to something around 844. So 844 means like maybe 800 if it is. So 800 means like 400 polygons. So active points are basically half when you are computing the polygons. So if this is 14,000 active points, that means it is 7,000 polygons, the polys. Okay, so I hope this is clear. So that's the thing. So because every time we increase the subdivision level, we divide one more let's do one thing. Let's go back here, divide one more time here. So it's quadrupulating the number of active points. So let's you can, if you will divide like more and more time, so what will happen is that your computer will get slower and you won't be able to work on. So I will I will not go beyond this right now. So now, as you know, I have quite a high number of like subdivision over here. Let me do one thing. Let me turn off my uh, wireframe here, and now let's try to sculpt some detail over here. So if I will draw something, and you can see it's very fine detail I'm getting here. The one which I was getting before was quite low, but here you can see it's a very fine detail. Even if I will just make my mouse size, my draw size small over here, you can see it's a very fine detail. So this is basically you have it, but sometimes what happens is that let me undo this. If you have a very high like poly or subdivision model, okay, like suppose if I'm here on 5 subdivision, if I will click on the lower, what it will do is that it will delete all the one that was low. Okay, now you can see that this is counting this shirt as the lowest one. But if I will undo that, and if I will go to like to something around 3 and click on delete higher, so what it will do is that it will delete all the higher one. Okay, now here this will show me the lower like division level. It will go one step back, and this one will go one step forward, just if you don't want to slide. Now sometimes what happens is that you don't have maybe someone have given you a model which is already high like high resolution, and you don't want to work on the higher like resolution model. So you have your reconstruct subdivision. So if you click on this one, what it will do is that it will start reconstructing it. As many times you want, you will click on it, it will start bringing to you the lowest subdivision. Okay, so now you can see that I have my whole thing here just like that. Okay. Okay, so that's the basics of creating, modifying, and deleting subdivision levels in ZBrush. It's the foundation for a lot of detailed work. So feel free to practice in case you are not entirely clear how it works. So I hope this is clear by now. If you have liked my video, please don't forget to click on the like button and subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed to it yet. And also, if you have social media accounts, I will highly appreciate if you can give me a shout out so I can have more subscriber, because more subscriber, more followers, more likes, more comments, more watch time hours will always encourage me to create more and more content. So guys, take care of yourself till we meet for the next lesson.